My name is Nitin Pradhan, and I am coming to you from Washington, D.C. in US. I'm the CEO of ScaleUp USA. ScaleUp USA is a digital business and career growth accelerator based in Washington, D.C. And today we are going to answer a very interesting and important question that we are getting often at ScaleUp USA. And the question is, should international students study in USA after their 12th grade? And this important question is coming because up till now, the general tendency of international students was to come to US for their master's or PhD program. But that has begun to change. Today, there are more and more international students coming to the US after their 12th grade to do bachelors in the US. In fact, of the million plus international students who are studying in the US, roughly 40% of them are studying for their bachelor's degree. So let's try and answer this question to the best of our ability. So as usual, we are going to give you very frank feedback and we want to have open discussions. So if you want to discuss and put your point of view, make sure to add it in the comment section. So the decision formula of whether you should come to the US after your 12th grade to do your bachelor's degree actually depends on three major issues. The first issue is the quality of college education in your home country. That's right. What is the quality of education at a college level in your home country? Obviously, if it is really great, then there's really no reason for you to come all the way to US. The second issue is, what is the cost of college education in your home country? Now, it's likely that you have great college education in your home country, but it's also very costly. If that's the situation, it might make a lot of sense to actually come to the US where there's global recognition for the colleges and universities. And the third question is, really, do you have available funding for study in USA at a college level? Obviously, if you don't have funding to do studies in US, it's moot whether you want to come to the US or you don't want to come to the US after the 12th grade. So let's try and apply this formula and see how it goes there. So if the quality of education in your home country is low, the cost of college education in your home country is high, and you have funding for US education, that means you have the necessary funds, then it's a no-brainer. You should absolutely come to the US after the 12th grade. Now let me give you another scenario. If the quality of education in your home country is really, really good, the cost of education at a college level in your home country is low, and you don't have any funding to come to the US for higher education, then studying in the US after 12th grade is almost not a necessity. So you need to decide where you are, in which country you are, what kind of college education is available there, what's the cost of college education there, and the funding that you have from your own personal resources before you can make this decision. Now, I want to sort of apply this formula to a couple of countries. So I'm going to actually talk to you about two countries. I'm going to talk to you about India and Canada. So in India, the general quality of education at a college level is pretty poor. There are some really good colleges, but most colleges in India are not up to the mark. The college education costs pretty high in India. And there are lots and lots of Indians who are now well above the middle class and can afford education in US. So for Indian students and their parents, it may make sense to actually send their children to the US after the 12th grade to do college education at a bachelor's level. That is entirely likely. We have started seeing that a lot from India. The situation may also be similar in Bangladesh and Pakistan. Now let me give you another example of Canada. So in Canada, the quality of education at a college level is exceptionally high. The cost of education at a college level for Canadian citizens in Canada is quite low. And while Canadians might be rich enough to actually come to the US, it does not make sense for Canadians to actually come to the US and pay extra money to get equal level of education at a college level. Now, what I want to do is I also want to give parents a couple of other questions that they need to answer before they can decide to send their children for studies in the US after the 12th grade. The first and very important question is the student mature enough to come to the US alone, stay alone, and actually study in the 12th grade and after the 12th grade for the bachelor's degree? If you think the student is mature enough, then obviously, you're on the right track. You should send the student there. Now, of course, one of the things parents can do is to start training the student early. And we know, and we actually talk to our clients and tell them that if they are planning to send their students to US after the 12th grade, they should start training them as early as 9th and 10th and 11th grade so that they are prepared to live alone, to study alone, and are mature enough. The second thing that you need to do is to make sure that the student has enough money to actually do the college education in US. Again, for parents, if they start saving early, then they're going to be in a much better situation to actually send their students for their bachelor's degree after the 12th grade. And then finally, one of the most critical criteria is that you need to have really proper guidance in terms of college applications and preparation and planning so that your child, your student, your international student can come to the US for the right major in the right college, and you can actually pay, fairly decent pricing and you're not ripped off when you're studying in US. And this is a very important factor because there are lots and lots of study abroad consultants who actually provide free advice to students and parents on how to come to the US, but they are essentially sales agents for universities, and they actually make a lot of margin and sales commission by finding students for universities. So again, you have to be very careful how and what process you follow to actually come to the US. Now, of course, there's another video that we have put out on study abroad consultants. You may want to watch that video because that talks in depth about study abroad consultants and how to select them in case you're going to go that route. Now, one more thing that I want to mention is that coming to the US and actually studying in the US requires very proper planning. It requires a lot of preparation. And if you don't do it properly, you'll either not get here or you'll get here into the long college, or you might pay very heavily for the college you are in. So what we have done is we have created a 24-point action plan that we want to discuss with you. And we are going to talk about this action plan in a demo that we are going to give at the end of this presentation. And one of the things I will tell you is that you should look at this 24 points action plan and either you go out and actually prepare for all those 24 points or let us help you prepare for it. But either way, preparing well and actually preparing not only the student but the parent early on is critical for you to get your child to the US after the 12th grade. Now, I'm going to show you a demo of a resource that we have at ScaleUp USA for Study in USA. I'm also going to show you a study abroad club that we have actually put up on Facebook that you should join, and that's going to help you to do that. So that's coming at the end of this presentation. One favor from you. So we are developing a number of these videos and putting up on our ScaleUp USA YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like this video if you actually find it beneficial, and do share this video with your friends and family. So with that, let's go out and actually look at the two demos. So the first demo I'm going to give you is I'm going to talk about the Study in USA training program that we have for students and parents. And the way you go to this training program is you go to scaleupusa.xyz. That's the link up here. And then you click on Study in USA. And when you click on Study in USA, you're going to come to this program, which is essentially saying Preparing for Study in USA training program. And this is the most comprehensive, affordable, 24-step, self-paced, digital, video-based training program for US studies, admissions, financial aid, and visa interview, as well as global careers. So you may want to check this program out, and we have a lot of information here, but the part that I want you to focus on is the 24 steps for putting Study in USA plan into action. And this 24-point steps program that we have, it's really targeting both the parents and the children. So I would encourage you to actually go through these 24 points and make sure that you are actually, having a clear plan to address each of these 24 points. Now, obviously, if you join our program, you're going to get all of this addressed through the program itself. Now, one of the things I will also tell you is I've sort of put a short video about my experiences of coming to the US, and you can actually listen to it and talk about what I experienced when I came to the US almost 30 years back, and I've actually had a pretty good career here in US. Now, of course, if you decide to join our program, the first month it's going to only cost you $1. You can get in, you can test out the program, you can see if you like it, and then if you like it, it's $29.99 for each month onwards. You can join anytime, you can cancel anytime, but one of the things which I will mention is that there is a actual plan out here of how and when you need to start studying. And this is the section that I'm actually talking of. Starting early matters. I would suggest that if you are planning to come to the US, start at least 3 to 4 years earlier. We have seen consistently that international students start planning their Study in USA about 9 to 12 months earlier. That is just sufficient. That is just not sufficient amount of time for you to prepare early and well. So what I would suggest is if you are planning to come to the US, start planning 3 years to 4 years earlier, plan systematically on all these 24 steps, and I think you'll have a tremendous opportunity to come to the US, study in US, and actually have a very successful career. So again, if you want to learn about this program, you can go to ScaleUp USA and actually click on Study in USA, and here's the program. All you need to do is to actually click on this program and you will get to register by putting your credit card. Now, the second thing that we have done is we have created a Study Abroad Club. So if you go to facebook.com and you go to Study Abroad Club, that's where you should be able to find it. And this is something which you can join entirely free of cost. All you need to do is to go to this page and actually like it, and then you will start seeing a lot of information that we are putting out. You can see it's getting very well received. This particular post itself has got over 400 likes, 39 comments. Again, what we are doing in the Study Abroad Club is we are putting important information and important articles about study abroad, not only in US but other countries. And you can actually go to this one place and start looking at very interesting articles from a number of different sources. So that's what I would suggest. So in summary, it's really a great idea to come to the US after the 12th grade for bachelor's degrees if you have the money, if the education quality in your home country is low and the cost of education in your home country is not very good. And then, of course, if you decide to come to the US, make sure that the student itself is mature enough to come and stay in the US. Make sure that there's enough funding available for the student, and prepare early. Not 6, 9, 10 months earlier, but a cool 3 to 4 years earlier. Start preparing early, both for the child as well as the parent, and you will be very, very successful. And again, if you need guidance at a very low cost, at a high value, then I would suggest you look at our program. All the best.